Welcome to Cosmic Comics, Games and Collectibles, your zen of geekism. We carry comics old and new, magazines, toys, games like Pokemon, Magic, D&D. Want Godzilla, Ultraman, Star Trek, Ninja Turtles, Funko Pops? You'll find it all here. Shop our Cosmic Sound Room and pick up a record or two. Enjoy our Comic Coffee Lounge with a cup of Sasquatch coffee while geeking out over a super cool movie on our big screen. Cosmic Comic, Games and Collectibles. Superman loves us, and so will you.
Hi everyone, Jason Hunt here, inviting you to join us every Saturday morning for news, the week's headlines in science fiction, fantasy, horror, comic books, video games, plus Comic-Con updates and the weather, and the occasional interview along the way. We call it Good Morning Multiverse. We hope you join us every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 Central, right here on Sci-Fi for Me TV.
And good evening, everybody. I am RJ Carter, Senior Managing Editor here at CriticalBlast.com, Chief Envelope Licker for Critical Blast Logistics, Myopic Proofreader for Critical Blast Publishing, and I will answer the phones and work you through your data problems that you have with your crowdfunded campaigns with Critical Blast Consulting. We've got some activity in the chat already here. Good to see people are waiting. Heroinberg is out there, and has Comicsburg in the house to support us tonight here while we have our guest. Mind in 56 minutes at the top of the hour over on his channel for all the niche news and history. Says, don't forget to help out by liking and sharing the live stream. We do appreciate that. I never ask for that enough, which means I don't ask for it at all. I rely on y'all in the chat to do the thing you do. So glad that you have. Marvin Wynn is here. Hey, Marvin, good to see you. Haven't had you on in nearly long enough. Comicsburg is definitely here. Why are they here? Why is everybody here? Because we get to do something we don't get to do frequently enough on this channel. We get to take a book from the pre-launch status and put it into the launch status.
Breakfast. Lunch. I said lunch, not lunch!
No, it's okay. We really do mean to launch this one. This is not a launching of the campaign. Although that would be a good live stream. We'll pull it off at noon. We're going to launch your live stream. Oh, I've got ideas now, but we'll deal with that sometime later. Meanwhile, we're going to delve into kind of sort of literary history, kind of sort of ancient stories, kind of sort of modern comics. And if that's got you confused enough, then sit back and hear a tale from our guest, Mr. Grant Lankard. Grant, how are you doing tonight, sir?
Doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm going to put our little border up here so we don't look like we're sitting in boring basic black.
Yeah, it does look cool.
Sit in the comics and talk about comics. And this doesn't work as soon as we bring the stream up. So it's just here for us to talk. So tell us, first of all, why you're in comics. It's not like it's, a burgeoning industry like Beanie Babies or Pokemon cards or stuff like that.
Is Beanie Babies still an emerging market?
People are going to be millionaires on their Beanie Babies investments back in the 90s.
I remember that. I didn't know that there were still people. There's that nostalgia now.
I'm sure somebody's still got an unopened Cabbage Patch doll somewhere that they think they can sell for a fortune when they retire.
Right. So how did I get into comics? Well, I grew up in the 90s when comic books were huge, when comic book artists and writers were being treated like rock stars. And I don't know, it just seemed like a lot more fun than sitting in a cubicle all day like my dad did,
Where did you think those comic books were made?
I guess they're done on a draft board, which is a little bit more interesting than a cubicle.
Yeah, it's the image writers, especially the image artists, especially, were truly the rock stars of that era. Angie, thank you so much. Appreciate you for doing that.
That's my wife.
Thank you very much. Always love it when somebody shares. See, now I'm going to be singing that song all night, Herwenberg. Thanks for throwing that lyric into my head. It's in my Pandora list. Okay. And I can't play it because I'll get the stream sniped or shot down.
Exactly.
We can't have that. So did you focus on just the writing or just the art, or were you sort of doing both things? I cannot tell by looking at just the pre-launch page that only I can see right now, whether this is all you or some you.
So I have my friend Antonio Brandau helped me with the art. I did the inking and the coloring and the lettering. So I don't know. I don't know how I would say percentage wise who did what percentage of the art, but
well, if you're doing coloring and inking, you have to have art skills to pull that off. It's not just tracing anymore, or never was. So it's an important contribution to the look of the art. I say this, I always bring up as an example the Jack Kirby Captain America 1976 Bicentennial Special. Jack penciled the whole thing, but it was behind schedule. So to speed it along, Stan gave like 2 pages to one inker, 2 pages to another inker. And you can see every time you turn the page, it's like somebody drew it differently because every inker had a different style over Jack's pencils.
Did you ever see that comic book that he did in the 90s where it was like each of the Image founders took turns inking him?
I didn't see that one.
It was kind of interesting. Like, I guess the Image founders couldn't decide who would get to ink him, so they all took turns. And then they brought in like a couple other people. It wasn't exactly every page, but it was probably every 1 or 2 pages, I think. They had a different inker. Yeah, and it looks really different.
I would love to see Todd McFarlane's inks on top of Jack Kirby's pencils. I have to look that one up.
It's called Phantom Force. I'm sure I have it in my cabinet somewhere.
I'll have to look that one up. So when you finally sat down to create comics, is this your first one? Is this your first comic?
Well, Beowulf is my first one. I did an anthology comic book before this, but Beowulf is my first regular comic book.
Okay. What drew you to the legend of Beowulf? Because I had to read it in literature class, and I'm not a slouch when it comes to reading and understanding things. I love Shakespeare.
I promise
did
my
not
comic
get-
book is more fun. It's easier
I
to
didn't
read.
understand the original Beowulf all that much. I'm like, okay, he's there. There's a sword. Grendel's attacking. He hits it. Why is this a great work of literature? I don't know.
Right. Yeah. So I actually didn't. I didn't read the original Wolf text until years later. But I had my parents had one of those like Time Life fairy tale collections. You know, the ones that, like you would get a new volume like every month, whether you wanted it
Oh
or
yeah.
not. And I remember the story that really jumped out at me was Beowulf. And the reason why it jumped out at me is that it reminded me of a comic book. It didn't seem, a lot of the fairy tales seemed kind of a little bit more boring, but this one had action, it had dragons, it had swords, stuff like that in it. And
It was like a Conan story,
yeah, kind of.
but
So
to poetry.
right, and that was what interested me. And I did a lot of Beowulf drawings. Beowulf was kind of like when my friends and I would like make up superheroes like around the playground and stuff. That would be my character that I would pretend to be, was Beowulf.
Did anybody know who it was, or?
Yeah, some of my friends were like, Beowulf, does that mean he looks like a wolf? And I was like, no, he actually
That always
fights
got me.
dogs.
I did read Grendel. I can't remember the author who wrote that, but he basically wrote the story from the monster's perspective.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I've got that in my library somewhere. I have to dig that out sometime and check it out. I've got books that are all boxed up.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea, isn't it?
So folks, the link to Beowulf, the comic book, issues 1 through 4. This is 4 books on this crowdfunder here. The link is right below this video. You can hit it at any time. It will open in a new window, so you will not lose any of the conversation that you're listening to. In fact, I'm going to drop the little level on top of us here and bring the page up so you can see it. This is all you got right now, but don't go away because there's going to be more. We're gonna see more. This is your titular character, right?
I'm sorry?
This is the titular character. This is your Beowulf.
It is.
Okay, because that's not what I would expect. 7th century. I don't know what year the story takes place. This looks very superhero-y, kind of knight-ish.
Right.
Clean shit. And by I don't mean that the thing, is tighter fitting scale armor. But he's got a nice haircut. He's got the clean shaven face.
Right.
I always pictured Beowulf to be like, he's still got, last week's bits of chicken in his beard.
Right. So yeah, I kind of consider this like a cross between fantasy comic book and a superhero comic book. So if you like either of those genres, I think you'll like this.
Well, judging from this panel alone, I think you've succeeded. But this is going to be that's the big dragon in the background here. Now we've cut off a lot of him to make him fit. That's his mouth. And Beowulf is doing the only sensible thing, which is run away. But we are going to launch this tonight. So do you want to do you want to do the honors right now?
Yeah, I have it open. I have the window open. Okay, just have to say I've read terms and conditions.
John Gardner, thank you. Yes, John. I was going to say John Gardner, but then I was worried that I was confusing him with Martin Gardner, who did the annotated Alice, which I love so much.
Okay, my project is live.
Which means if I hit reload, there it is. It's live, folks. It happened here. Go click it. Go check it out. Let's see what's in here. Right now, 0 of a $3,500 goal. I do not want to end this stream and it be at 0 at a $3,500 goal, please.
Yes, you want bragging rights to be the first person, right?
Absolutely. Give us our shake and bake moments tonight, folks. If you're regulars here, you know what that means. If you're not a regular here, back the project and find out what it is. So I'm going to unshare this now because guess what? Before there was no video. and so I didn't turn the sound on. But now I'm going to share it again. First, I've got to stop the screen. I'm going to add it again.
So according to Herwenberg, Shazam is the launch word.
Shazam. Oh, well,
According to
I think
Herwenberg.
that's trademarked. I think that's trademarked. But let's give this video a listen here and
We got our first backer.
But look at that. Okay. Well, before we play the video, we have our shake and bake moment, and that is always a fun thing to have here on the show.
Well, we just got
and
two backers.
It goes a little something like this.
It's shake and bake, and I help.
So we always love it when the folks in our chat help. Thank you so much for making me look good. I appreciate that. I've had backers come on before, and I've done the whole let's refresh the screen, because Indiegogo you have to refresh, and they actually got a refund. That was embarrassing. They come on my show and go backwards, like ugh. You got five backers. Let's keep this up, people.
Well,
yes,
I started with 0, so it's kind of hard to have less than 0, right?
This is true.
Which is a good song.
Yeah. All right. I am going to play the video, and then we'll come back and see what this looks like after that. So here we go.
Hey everybody, I'm back to talk about Beowulf number 4.
Oh, Father, let's stop beating around the bush. We both know people are just here to see me. Beowulf is an adventure that spans centuries, and as good as issues 1 to 3 were, issue 4 is the best yet. If you read any of the first 3 issues and liked anything about them, you need to read issue 4. Issue 4 has more emotion, more action. What if you haven't read issues 1 to 3? Well, the trailer should catch you up.
Hazel always knew there was something special about her cat Mooney, but she's still shocked when Mooney opens his mouth to tell her he's just had a vision. An ancient evil has awoken after centuries of sleep, and only one man can stop it, the legendary warrior Beowulf. Unfortunately, it's been over 1,000 years since he slayed a dragon, and he's been reincarnated as this guy. His name is Victor, and he's more unemployed millennial slacker than mighty warrior.
And of course, if you missed issues 1 to 3, there's no way to get them. I jest. Of course you can get copies. There's a catch-up tier, or you can just get individual issues as an add-on after you pledge for issue 4.
So are you done talking about Beowulf number 4, Mooney?
If that's not enough to get you excited about this project, I don't know what more I can say. Enjoy the comic book.
Don't worry, Mooney got lots of treats after his big day of filming. Here's a photo of him and his best friend, Stitch, relaxing afterwards.
Yeah, so we probably should have also explained that there's a cat involved in this comic book who's based on a real-life cat.
We figured that out. By watching it. That's the best way to do it. 9 backers, $148 while we were watching this. So.
Yeah, not bad for, 2, maybe 3 minutes, right?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for backing this. So let's while they're shopping, let's take a look at what they are shopping for. This is issues 1 through 3, because this is a 4-issue series. By the way, I kept looking to see if Mooney's eyes were the green-blue heterochromatic or whatever.
Yeah. Is that the word for it? Yeah, he has
something close.
Colored eyes. Yeah.
It's you know what? Herrenberg's going to have the right word for this in the chat in 5, 4, 3. He's my backup when it comes to fact finding. He is the best fact checker and researcher out there for live stream. So his wrench needs to be dipped in gold for all the work he does out there. But
he's a nice guy.
Very much a nice guy, and has a heck of a comic book and channel of his own.
I've never seen his channel. Oh, yeah, I have seen his channel. Never mind.
Yeah, the series. Yeah. Oh, and my goodness, what's this? He's offering a correction here. The first 4 issues, including the new issue right now from Kickstarter, that is right. It is right here. The link that I put below will carry you right across to where we're at now. 4 issues. Is that the whole story? Is this, like if you get issues 1 through 4, you've got it all?
It's a 6. This is part 4 of 6. So
Okay.
there's still 2 more issues, and I'm in the middle of working on issue 5 right now.
6 is a good length for a miniseries. It's 12 is the max. In fact, that's why they call it a maxi series.
I think that's right.
Camelot 3000 being the first one, and still the best. The word you're looking for is heterochromia. I think I was very close when I said what I said.
You know what? I didn't remember it either. You would think that since I have a cat who has it, I would remember that, right?
It's funny. The only ones I've ever seen that have that have always been white, short-haired cats.
I've heard that. I think that's a hereditary thing.
And I had one of those cats, and it was it was a hyper cat.
Well, Mooney's pretty laid back. He might visit us later if we're lucky.
Oh, that'd be cool. So the story so far, you've got a teenage girl. This is not a magic wand she's holding, is it? Right? No? Yes?
No, it's a cat toy.
Okay. Still a magic wand. It makes the cat dance.
Exactly.
As far as the cat's concerned, it's magic. And then the cat opens its mouth, and I've always said, as soon as the cat talks, shut up and listen. Because they're probably not going to repeat themselves. They're very solitary and quiet animals.
Yeah, I think that's most people in the comic books opinion as well.
So does everybody who encounters the cat hear it talk, or is the cat just sort of like Mr. Snuffleupagus was on Sesame Street for the longest time? Nobody else believed it, and only Bird heard it.
No, everybody can hear him talk. Just he only chooses to talk in front of certain people.
Like Mr. Ed, I can make everyone think you're crazy by not talking in front of them. What's the cat's connection to the mysterious powers of the universe?
So the cat is a reincarnated wizard from the 8th century.
I love it. Yes.
Yeah. So he helps. So it cuts back and forth between modern times and Middle Ages, and you actually get to see Mooney in his human form too. And he still has the one green eye and one blue eye, even as
nice. Well, yeah. I imagine that all cats with heterochromia are actually reincarnated wizards.
I think all cats, period, are reincarnated.
Absolutely. And then this is the original Beowulf right here. Your representation of him here,
right? Like I said, the issues kind of go back and forth between the Middle Ages and modern time.
And the villain is a dragon. Now,
so you mentioned Grendel. Grendel is not in this comic book. I think we're going to do a prequel after this where we have Grendel in.
Okay, but that would have to be set back in the ancient times, or because he doesn't know that he's Beowulf right now. I'm guessing.
Right.
I'm guessing.
He learns as the story goes on.
Now, why is he the only one who can kill this dragon? I mean, this is 2022. If there's a dragon over New York, we got ICBMs, we got Sidewinders. That thing's going down, and if it's not, a sword's not going to help.
So we actually see in issue 3 how well it goes when modern military vehicles try to take on a dragon, and it doesn't go very well. There's a part in the story where Mooney kind of says to Beowulf, one man against a dragon actually has an easier time than an entire army, because an entire army is cumbersome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that. One guy can just we saw it in The Hobbit, didn't we? When Bilbo Baggins was able to, get in there close with the dagger, find that one spot and just sting right there. Because dragons are big, and we're ants, and you can't follow one ant. You can step on a hill and start smashing, but the one's different. So
So that's what he looks like in modern times.
Yeah, he's kind of a skinny guy.
Right. He kind of needs to get his act together, right?
Yeah. And, hit the gym 3 or 4 days a week for a couple of months before taking on a dragon or something.
Exactly.
But I don't think he has that amount of time, does he?
Right.
Is there something about him that makes the dragon, vulnerable to what he can do? Or is he just like when his spirit awakens, he's got the skill sets and the knowledge?
So what what you see if you read issue 3 is that before his ancestor or after his ancestor killed the dragon, he took a taste of the dragon blood, which gives him sort of the invulnerability and some of the powers of being a dragon.
So it's more than just a guy with a sword and a special set of skills.
Exactly.
That's got me interested in that now, because now you have entered the realm of fantasy and superheroes by throwing this into the modern day.
Yeah, I think so.
So here's where we're seeing Mooney's bringing Hazel and Victor to his base. Okay, wait a second. The cat has a base. Well, what am I saying? They all have a base somewhere, don't they? Don't you wonder where your cat's gone in the middle of the day? They have an underhouse base, but he has a base with torches and pictures.
I just got scolded by my wife.
Oh dear!
My wife told me don't give out too many spoilers.
Well, we're not spoiling anything. It's on the campaign, right? We're just reading what's there. Yeah, I bet he probably even has like a computer in the corner where he scours the internet looking for. It's probably how he found Victor.
Right.
but
his
being
or cat cave, I guess.
Yeah, the cat cave. Oh, look at this now. Yeah. I know that he was just slain by Bard the Bowman, not Bilbo. But didn't Bilbo get in there and stick him? And he stuck somebody, because I remember that's how he named the dagger Sting. Because somebody got stung with it. Maybe I'm I don't know. The poetry put me to sleep whenever I read it. So being a wizard, is Mooney spell casting, or is he like, talking's the best I got, that and hiring architects?
No, he definitely can cast spells. I mean, he casts a teleportation spell. At some point, he casts protection spells. Yeah, he can cast a whole bunch of spells.
Very useful cat. Oh, and look at this. Here we're seeing some of that dragon energy come out from Victor.
Right. And we'll see. Sorry, go ahead.
No, so we can't see the invulnerability aspect here, except for, I guess, except for the fact that his lips aren't blistered from breathing out fire. But he's looking a lot more ripped here.
Right.
He's got abs now.
He also has the strength of a dragon. So if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see the fact that he needs to work on his aim a little bit.
Well, it's a flamethrower. You generally don't have to worry about being sniper precise with a flamethrower. That's why you've got the thing. You just kind of fan it.
Exactly.
So who's this guy here who's holding the target and saying, "You idiot"?
So this is a magical being that Mooney created. He is Mooney's golem.
Okay.
And that's I created him because I was thinking, okay, if one of our main characters is going to be a cat, we're going to have to figure out a way, because cats don't have opposable thumbs or anything like that. We're going to have to figure out.
Yeah, I was wondering who hung the picture, but
right.
It's sort of the opposite of what you'd expect, where the magic user has a cat familiar to do things. Well, the cat's magic, so he's got a humanoid familiar to carry out tasks.
Exactly.
I don't know. I think this is just these two pictures together are just hilarious. I'm loving that. And now we're getting to the stuff that's new in this issue, which is where he's going to go put on the old armor, which I'm guessing Mooney had kept a hold of as well.
Right.
Not important where it came from. Fact is, we have it.
Right. So issue 4, we get to see him starting to act a little bit more heroic. He's developing as a character a little bit more.
Yeah. He's got the dragon wings to help him fly. He's got the Green Lantern, the green armor.
Right.
I said that on purpose because I'm like, flying in green leotards. Yeah, he's Green Lantern. What is this the original armor in your story? So he's wearing his old armor. And that being green and being from that era, did you have any thoughts of interconnecting the Beowulf story as you have it with the Legend of the Green Knight, which is kind of popular among fantasists?
Yeah, you asked me that backstage, and I was like thinking, like, okay, like that was the first it had occurred to me, and I thought to myself, okay, do I make something up or do I just admit, like, no, I didn't think of that, unfortunately, but yeah, I could add that, couldn't I?
You got prequel material now.
Do I have to credit you if I use that idea?
Take it. Publicly saying, just take it. Anybody who sees this knows I said run away with it. I don't know what part of the dragon this is because dragons are huge. He's just thwacking it with the sword. He's not even hurting the dragon with the sword at this point. He's just sort of like slapping it with a fly swatter for all intents and purposes. There's no blood. There's no cuts. Is there blood? Is there cuts? What's the maturity level on this as far as the violence goes?
I'm saying PG-13. I would say it's violence level on par with your average Star Wars movie. I was going to say Lord of the Rings, but it's probably actually less violent than Lord of the Rings because Lord of the Rings got pretty violent.
Yeah, it did. And your protagonists are a teenage girl and a talking cat. So unless this is like Hunger Games kind of thing, you won't expect that kind of violence. Lots of Mooney. You're gonna need Mooney backup stories, solo shots, because he's the unsung star of the whole thing.
People have already asked me for spinoffs starring Mooney.
Okay. There's this thing I do, Grant, on all my shows when I'm talking with new campaigns. And it's I'm going to get it on a T-shirt and put a trademark on it, and it goes like this. You know what you need to do. That's it. That's my whole intro. Trademark that. You've seen campaigns. They do the stickers. They do the magnets. You've seen the bookmarks. All the traditional stuff. There's a trend right now that people are pulling off, and they're pulling it off successfully with plushies.
I had a feeling that's what you were going to say.
Yeah.
What's the minimum order for plushies, you think?
I've got a guy who can help you with that.
Okay.
And I think the minimum order was like 50, but don't hold me to that because I'm not looking at what he's sent me before. But he's sort of the plushie mover guy. Now he didn't do this one, but I could also talk to this guy, Mike Jimmy Lorsha de Bruin.
I know Mike Jimmy.
Well, this is the plushie that came with his Life on Korra last one, and this is a nice solid. This is not a I threw the ball correctly at the carnival and got this.
Yeah, I was going to say that looks like it's something you would buy like big time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is solid material. So if you want to talk to Mike Jimmy and say, hey, what, because Mike Jimmy didn't spend a fortune on these. And I just want to hug it. It's very velvety. It's like if this were a Mooney, I would want a Mooney of this, and I would just sit here and scratch its head all day long. I really want to put clamps around its feet so he can sit on my shoulders sometimes while I do live streams.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
But I don't want to damage him in any way by putting the clamps on. But anyway, throwing the idea out there: heterochromatic Mooney white cat plushies.
I do like that idea.
So this is the cover for issue 4 from Monarch Studios.
That's one of the covers. There's another cover a little bit lower.
Yeah, that's just huge. That's a big head.
Right.
Sometimes things are so big that you can't see them.
You can't see the whole thing, right?
Yeah, you don't know that this bush you're leaning up against is actually a dragon head because you're not far enough away from it to take it all in. There used to be a legend. I don't know how true it is that a lot of the Native Americans couldn't see the ships that some of the white people came in on.
My wife
because they
brought my cat in. If you want to say hi to Mooney.
There is Mooney. Hey, Mooney. Meow. 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 He's not even going to look at this camera. Hi there, buddy. Oh, you got pretty eyes. Yes, you do.
Yeah, he's a pretty boy.
Is he a very talkative cat?
Sometimes. I don't know if you heard him when he came in. He was talking, and he's jumping down now because he was annoyed by us.
Yeah, my
that was
Lily,
a guest appearance more than a full
more than an interview.
Right.
Yeah, Harrenberg, it does look like that. That's why I want him on my shoulder, because it'll look like Lockheed in a way. My Lily is an outdoor cat, and I go out in the mornings, and she runs out from under my car. She goes meow, and I'm like, what? She goes meow, what? Meow, what? Meow, what? And we just go back and forth like that. She'll respond every time I talk to her until I put the food in the bowl, and then she's like, shut up, leave me alone.
That sounds like my wife and Mooney. They'll have like entire conversations. Like she'll say, "No, I'm not giving you food yet," and he'll say, "Meow." She'll say, "No, not yet," and it's just like back and forth as if like you're talking to a person.
My ex had taught one of our cats to say "I love you," and "Mama," and it. You think I'm kidding, but one of our friends came over to the house one time, and just it was time to feed the cat, and the cat came in and said, "Arr!" And she said, "Did that cat just say I love you?" It's like, yeah, he did.
Mooney can't say I love you, but he can say uh-oh.
Oh, well, I'm sure he has reason to on many occasions. This is the second cover. Is this you drawing this as well?
I didn't draw this. I colored it though.
Okay, because like I said, the art looks a little different from the other panels and the other covers.
Yeah, definitely.
So I didn't know if you had different artists working on the covers here.
This is David Dion drawing this one.
Yeah, that looks like a lot of green in this cover. I mean, between his armor, the dragon, and the hills and the forest.
Right.
And the logo.
Right. I toned down the green in the logo just a little bit to make it stand out a little bit more.
You got to have the contrast. Even if you end up with like sometimes I found if you just put like a border around the font, or well, this isn't a font, but sometimes a contrasting logo is good enough. So you got your testimonials here. People have, this isn't your first launch. This is just the launch of the fourth issue with 1, 2, and 3 together. So you've had some positive reviews here on Beowulf 1 through 3. Look at all these people who are comic book reviewers who have done this. Get Geek Awakens, Dempsey Blackmore, X-Men Speculation, Glasgow Comic Page, Super Serious Comics, and yeah, that thing. Bibi Gong Smelder.
Was that what it says?
I don't know. It's yeah, it's definitely something Norwegian or
I think you're
Nordic.
right. I think that is a Norwegian.
Got pictures of the book laying here on the table. You got a chrome cover. So you got your standard, your deluxe, and then a chrome version of the deluxe.
I think the chrome's going to look really nice.
Very cool. And you've got add-ons. Oh, okay. This is going to freak people out when you wear this shirt and they know who Beowulf is, and then they see a cat and like, what? No, how does that go together? But that's also a great way of saying, well, let me tell you how it goes together.
Spread the word.
Conversation starter. It's also very important, and you've done this correctly, that you have your character and your logo, because I've seen a lot of shirts, a lot of posters where, hey, here's the character because my character looks cool, and I'm like, yeah, you're new and nobody loves your character as much as you do, but on the off chance that somebody does and they see your character on a shirt of somebody wearing it as they walk by, they can't Google that.
Exactly.
They can't say, I want what was the cool shirt with the guy standing on his hips wearing this and fighting it? Google doesn't work that way.
Exactly.
They see the cat, they say Beowulf. And they Google cat Beowulf. There's your book. And it's like, that's what that's about. Now I'm interested. I want to buy.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Now this is new. I thought I had seen everything.
So this is an idea we had. I think was it my wife's idea? The idea was
even if it wasn't, say it was.
Freshener. What's that?
Even if it wasn't your wife's idea, say it was. Play it safe there, man.
Right. Yeah, so this is a Mooney air freshener. Yeah, I don't know if I've seen this on a Kickstarter before, but yeah, there's a place that will mass produce air fresheners for you. Yes, I hope we get a few people purchasing it.
So what's the scent? Because I got to know now.
It's like it's not going to smell like Mooney. So don't worry about that.
Cat litter scented, folks.
Yeah, you can't get it that specific. I think it's called like Cool Spring or something. It's kind of like a generic air freshener kind of smell.
It's got that new cat smell.
Right.
That's cool though. I've never seen that done before. And I've seen all kinds of weird things. I've seen, and I looked this up because it was my idea. Nobody's done it yet. But there is a place where you can have custom printed ketchup packets.
Wow.
And I was like, because how many campaigns have you logged into before, like this one, where there's a ketchup tier?
Oh, right.
and like, what if it came with a thing of ketchup? Now they you'd have a real problem shipping that because it'll bust or something in transit. But the thing is, the packets were empty.
On your comic book.
When you get the packets, they're actually empty flats. You would have to fill them with your own ketchup, which you wouldn't do.
Right.
You would just have a ketchup. But I think it'd be cool. You are printing this with Comics Wellspring.
Yes.
For those who don't know, very, very, very good company. I probably have a box that says Comics Wellspring on it here somewhere from one of the shipments they've sent to us.
I've had good luck with them so far.
They're now, if I remember right, are they not the ones where you get like a discount if you print and let them have the back cover for an ad?
Exactly.
Yeah. So excellent marketing opportunity for them.
And I get a discount. I get a discount for doing this as well. So.
Oh, for putting it on your crowdfunder? Oh, I did not know they would do that. Well, that is cool to have them work with you like that. What we did not see was the pricing over here in the big pictures. We did see the items, but not the pricing. So we're gonna have to go back over here to the right side. Check this out. You can get the digital tier. Yes, you can just throw money at these things. That's a standard on Kickstarter.
Right.
But for $5 you can get the digital, and that's not bad. I mean, even if you just want to give money, buy the digital so he's get the sales numbers up, and you can delete a digital comic. You don't have to keep it if you just want to give it money. Now, seeing that, I'm going to have to ask, because if George shows up in our chat, he's going to ask, is there a tier that's all the digitals?
Yes. We have a digital catch-up as well. Perfect.
Perfect for that digital burger. So the print edition, $7. That's a steal. And you're getting the Beowulf stickers, which we did not see in the items here.
Yeah, I haven't decided which image from the comic book I'm going to put on the stickers yet, but it'll be something fun.
Yeah, it's too bad the wings on the cover image here aren't fully extended off to the side, because you ran out of real estate. Because that would make an excellent die cut sticker.
That would be cool.
I'm a sticker guy. I mean, I've got the half of my table here is covered with stickers, and I'm just kind of growing it over, and then I'm going to laminate the table so I don't scratch the stickers up. Got them on the back of my monitor, but I have since become less of a sticker guy because I had my back of my laptop just covered with the coolest stickers, the best crowdfunded comic stuff out there, and it was like, they were all arranged perfectly, and then my laptop died.
Right. Isn't that the worst?
They're all gone. So I have evolved into a refrigerator magnet guy, because all the people who make these stickers also make the refrigerator magnets. It's just still printing. You're just not printing on, you're printing on a different kind of sticky material. So if my refrigerator dies, I can take all the magnets off and put them on the next one.
Exactly.
They stick around with me. See what I did there? I didn't even intend to do that. So while stickers are fun, I encourage people to check out magnets. And I always like the die cut. I know a lot of people, like, here's the cover reproduced as a 2x6 magnet. Like, yeah, that's cool, but it's boring.
Right.
Give me the dynamic of the die cut. But for $7, you're going to get stickers in the print version. For $12, you're going to get the deluxe cover. So this is the $7 one with the great big dragon head,
right?
Giving you scale, and then this is the $12 one.
And you're also going to get, there's also extra pinups at the back of the deluxe version.
Oh, so more pages.
Exactly.
So it's not just, I get, you hire an artist, you got to make more on those to pay the guy who did it. But getting more pages is a nice backer bonus.
Exactly.
To say, yeah, it was worth the extra $5 to get that. $4 more, you're going to get the chrome. I'm going to guess that's still got the same pinups in the back of it there.
Exactly.
No sense on trading them out. And the stickers. Look at you're sitting here letting me talk about the ketchup here, and you even spelled it KETCHUP.
Exactly.
So yeah, I feel dumb now. It's like I've got something brilliant to tell him. He's going to think I'm so clever. And you're like, yeah.
I never thought about including ketchup with it, though.
Oh, well, like I said, it's just, you probably have to print 1 million of them per order, because they make them for restaurants and stuff. But it's an option. Right. This is the digital ketchup tier, $17, issues 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then, the regular ketchup special, which is all 4 issues and the stickers, $19. Folks, you're going to spend $20 usually on a crowdfunded comic. I'm guessing these are your standard 22-page floppies.
Exactly.
Okay, so yeah, that's a deal. You might spend $20 on like a 48-page comic. This is 2 48-page comics for less than the $20.
And we also have issues 1 through 3. Like if you have issue 1 but not issue 2, you can just get them as an add-on after you sign up for issue 4.
That's been the best thing that's happened to crowdfunding, is the add-on.
Right.
Because you're like, you can just make the thing simple and say, here's all the things we got, buy the book and go add it on. Right. Now I've seen so you did that because you are in the home of Heinz ketchup. Very cool. Those guys at Heinz can probably tell you where to get those especially printed packages too, because I didn't keep it in my bookmark list once I found it. Where was I going? I had something to say. The add-on thing. I saw one person who's on our show, Kara Nicole. She does lots of crowdfunding projects.
Oh yeah, I know Kara Nicole.
Yeah, and she did she's a brilliant marketer and entrepreneur, and she did one on her last campaign that I thought was the most brilliant thing in the world. It was $10, no product. I was like, you've already got the tip. She's like, no, that's $10. You're just buying the shipping. So you bought the shipping. That's all you paid for was shipping. And then you go to the add-on page and you just fill it with what you want from the add-ons. So, if you didn't want the main physical product, say, no, I want the trading cards and I want the print and I want this alternate cover. And then, as you exceeded the shipping would go up a little bit. But it was just a way of saying, here's the empty bag. Go fill it, like the library sale. When you go and you say, hey, I'm going to go to the library sale, and they're like, it's $5 for a paper sack, and you can just fill it with as much stuff as you want.
That is a clever idea. I never even thought about that. Yeah. Huh.
Herrenberg has found us some more trivia, because your Bewegungs review came from me. It means motion detector in German. German. So it's not Swedish or Norwegian. It's German.
Yeah, I know that Herwenberg is really into different languages.
He I think if it doesn't advance his career or make him money, it's something he's going to know. He's just a font of information, and he has a few packages of the Heinz ketchup there if you want to throw them in. So,
okay.
And Mike Walters is getting ready, by the way, to start the mic stand, folks, over on his channel. So as we wrap up here in just a few moments, be sure to hop over there, raid the mic stand, give the guy a crowd. Let him know that there's people watching. He does. He's one of the hardest working guys I know. Streams every single night, covering this information. You got the Chrome ketchup special. Okay, so that's the first 3 issues standard and the 4th Chrome issue.
Exactly.
Okay. I was checking to see. I wanted to make sure because I didn't know if it was like, oh, you've done Chrome before, and this is.
I have, but yeah, I only make enough to give out at the time, and that's something else that you should know. If you don't get the deluxe version of the comic book, I mean, I'll still have like the standard versions, for sale here and there. But if you don't get the deluxe with this Kickstarter, I'm not going to reprint those.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It keeps the collectability there, so that so that people come back and they get the next one and the next one, knowing that these are going to be left as collectible levels. And of course the stickers. $35. You got a retailer special. I love seeing that. I hope that retailers take advantage of these things
and put them on
stores. Yeah, I mean, I talked with some retailers, and we're trying to reach out more broadly as our catalog increases. So all the people that we do fulfillment for, I keep an inventory of their overstock, and we have posted pictures on our Twitter before of their books on retailer shelves because we made the sale for them and sent them the money. That's the important thing. We sent them the money after the sale.
Right.
So they can get 4 copies of issue number 4 print and 4 Chrome, and some stickers and a poster to hang up in the store to let people know, hey, we have Beowulf comics. $35. That's a deal. I mean, you're getting 8 comics there, retailer, and 4 of them are Chrome. I mean, you're going to sell each of those Chromes for $30. Come on, don't tell us you're not.
Yeah, I mean, we did a big discount just to help, the retailers who want that tier.
That's beautiful. And you've got the retailer ketchup. So you can get 4 of 1, 2, 3, and 4. One. Okay, now, no. Let me read this right. You're getting 4 of 1, 4 of 2, 4 of 3, 3 of 4, but a 4th one of 4. So you're still getting 4 4s. And then 1 Chrome one on top of that.
Exactly.
And the poster and the advertisement. Tell me more.
Yeah, so there's going to be a short. On the last page, I always do little advertisements for like comic book shops. If you have a YouTube channel, that sort of thing. And actually, there should be. Oops, I messed that up. I'll fix that. If you do either of the retailer specials, you'll get the advertisement.
Okay, so if you want to advertise your store, get the retailer special. Get yourself a stack of books, and your ad will be in there so that your customers will know that you are a supporter of independent comics. Exactly. I am going to scroll back to the top here, and since it's Kickstarter, I don't have to refresh. I am loving this. 23 backers, $370.
Huh?
Yeah, you are over 10% of the way there. So this is good momentum. I hope this continues for you. Do you have a tour set up, a podcast tour in place?
Yeah, I've actually even done a few pre-recorded podcasts already. So yeah, I already have some. If there's anybody in the chat who knows of any, feel free to send me a message. Yeah, I love doing the podcasts and the YouTube shows.
Well, I can definitely refer you to people. It's one of the things we do. We network and tell each other, hey, get this guy on your show. And you will be vending at the Horror Realm Flea. What? The horror? Is that a flea market? The horror?
Yes.
What is this?
It's a one-day horror convention, kind of.
Okay. I should have gone there because we just finished our Indiegogo. We did not fund, but we were fulfilling anyway because it was virtual. We had this This was The Devil You Know. We did this 2 years ago, and so we did The Devil You Know. That's not The Devil You Know Better. I grabbed the wrong book. Yeah, it fell over on me. That was a smooth segue. So we did The Devil You Know Better, and both of them are in softcover on Amazon. But we had the Indiegogo for The Devil You Know Better hardcover, signed by Mike Barron, signed by Hart Fisher. And if that makes you feel jealous and you want that, too bad. We did not go in demand. We warned everybody. It's a very, very, very limited print run. And
so Hart D. Fisher signed it?
Yes, Hart D. Fisher has signed it. He's got a story in the book. Mike Barron has a story in the book. Everybody who backed it is going to get, numbered one of however many we printed. It's not many. And it's going to be signed by me under the on the editorial page, because I'm the editor and I want to feel like I contributed in some fashion to this project. But I'll just go ahead and say it. We had stretch goals that we didn't hit, where we were going to put artwork in for each one of the stories by Stefano Cardacelli. I had already paid him for 2 of them, so I'd have something to show on the campaign.
Oh, cool.
I'm going to use them. Those pieces of art are going to be in the book. So we're going to pretend that we hit the first 2 stretch goals and throw those in there. So 24 backers, $410. I don't want to leave. But I'll have to in a minute here. This is excellent. Keep this up, folks. Share the stream out. And again, when I say share the stream, I don't mean it for me. I don't get more than $100 a year off YouTube, and I don't ever plan to, even though we're monetized, which you could hit those super chats. I would read them, but obviously I'm reading everything, so it doesn't matter. But share it out so that people can see Grant's work here. Let them know that this is out there. Let them get the story through us about what this is all about, why they want to back this, and help make this happen. 41 days to... Okay, why was this a 42-day campaign?
So I wanted to try I wanted to try doing more than 30 days. I've only ever done 30-day campaigns, and I know that they say that it doesn't help your campaign, but I want to try it just because, I don't know, I noticed on some of the Kickstarters I've done that the conventional wisdom isn't always correct.
Yeah.
Or at least maybe not that it's not correct, but maybe it's not the same for everybody. You know what I mean?
It's a different market in each place.
Right.
People respond differently. I know people who do 18-day campaigns because they like to keep the immediacy throughout the whole thing.
I can see that too.
But for me, it's like, I would like keep this thing open as long as possible and let everybody who wants to come in, come in. Thing is, people will wait till the last day of the campaign, and the longer the campaign is, the more likely they'll forget on the last day of it. For me, especially with Kickstarters, I'll put it in my phone as a reminder on the day before, and then my reminders go back this, go back that, and then I do. So
just out of curiosity, why is that? Because I mean, why do you
with Kickstarter? Because the difference between Kickstarter and Indiegogo is this: when I see something on Indiegogo, I say I want that. It's got 32 days to go. Buy that. And I give it my credit card, which is my PayPal card,
right,
and they take my money. And I'm saying, thank you very much. And then I forget about it. And, a couple of months later, I get a comic in the mail. Kickstarter is much the same way. I see a project I like, I want that. It's got 20 days to go. If I say at that moment, here's my credit card, which again is my PayPal card. Kickstarter says, thank you very much. And then I go along my merry way. And, I go to McDonald's. And I'm like, I'm hungry. What do I want? I look at my phone and say, oh, I have $20 in PayPal. Yeah, give me a quarter pounder with cheese. Totally forgetting that Kickstarter will not take the money from my account until the campaign closes. And then
sense.
They try to take the money, and the money's not there, and it's all embarrassing. And I've heard a creator who thought they were getting money, and now there wasn't money there, or I've got to go run and get money and put it there and have them reprocess it. So with Kickstarter, I always say, do it the day of so that I don't forget, and you basically take the money the moment I give it to you.
I didn't think of that.
It's just it's a way of making sure that I don't short a creator. Plus, if I back a book, I really do want it, and I don't want to be shorting myself either.
Right.
And I don't know how many other people do that. It might just be me. So, Inkfinity, thank you so much for sharing this out. I was just on Ali's stream before this one, and had to pop right over here, right out of it. We had a fun discussion there about evolution of comics characters and some talk about the Sandman series on Netflix, which is interesting enough for me to keep watching it and interrupting enough for me to keep being annoyed by it.
We just finished it. I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it. I like the story. I like where the story's going. It's close enough to the comic where I'm like, yeah. Oh, they did that well. But it's like, I knew going in that Death was going to be cast against type. I'm like, okay, I'm used to it. I was annoyed by it, but now I'm used to it. And then Rose Walker was cast against type. Like that jarred me again. It's like that's not the Rose I saw. And then, Hector Hall was cast against type and was not the Sandman, as it was in the books.
Right.
So I was like, I keep feeling I get these mental interruptions.
I don't think they're allowed to use any of the DC characters because they also didn't use John Constantine.
Exactly, and that's the biggest change, I think. But yeah, they had to make up a new nightmare for the whole Jed Sandman, his own dream world kind of thing, because they couldn't use Brute and Glob because those were the Jack Kirby characters that belonged to the Sandman comic. I'm surprised that they, used cartoon drawing versions of Captain Cold and the Pied Piper, and even kept the Sandman costume for Jed's little fantasy world.
There's no Martian Manhunter either.
There's no Martian Manhunter in the warehouse, which means that, at the wake, I'm not going to see my favorite comedy scene in the entire series, which was, you remember when everybody in the universe goes to the wake when Dream's dead. And there's this scene where it's Superman, Batman, and the Martian Manhunter standing in a group, and Superman saying, you ever had that dream where your entire life is a series of television episodes? And Batman says, doesn't everybody? And Martian Manhunter says, I don't. It's like, that's because you didn't get a TV series, did you? No. I thought it was funny. That's one of those things you've got to be a lifelong comics fan to get, I guess.
Right.
But, and I always read that with him doing it in his best Eeyore voice. I don't.
So those were your only complaints about the show?
Yeah, really. Just the fact that the continued casting against type keeps popping up and keeps throwing me out of the story. Because I'm like, oh, that's that person, really? And it takes me a while to get over that annoyance and back into the flow. But the Sound of Her Wings was probably the most accurate to the comic story-wise of all the episodes I've seen. I don't know why Lucifer had to be the one to battle Dream in hell instead of Kronzon. That was kind of weird. Because I wanted Kronzon to lose. I wanted to, and Lucifer watching. That was the whole gestalt of the whole thing. You haven't gotten past him trapped in the glass ball yet. Fell asleep during episode 1. Oh, well, he is the Sandman. I still recommend watching it, especially if you're a fan of the series. If you weren't a fan of the series or you didn't read the series, you may find even more enjoyment in it because you won't get these constant interruptions of that's not the way it went, which comes with any adaptation, I guess.
I'm not going to, this might be a controversial opinion. I kind of like it when they change little things about the comic book, like when they adapt something, just because if they take it directly from the comic book, I feel like I've already seen it. You know what
just
I mean?
Read along. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm okay with them changing some things or maybe their interpretation might be a little bit different. Like, that is the book, but that's not how I read that. That's interesting. I don't know. I'm going to watch it through to the end. I don't know where this season ends in regards to, the full 70 issue run, which I bought every single month when it was out new on the stands. I'm that old.
I think they've said there's going to be at least 2 more seasons.
I hope so. I wish they'd been able to sell it to HBO Max instead of Netflix, though. If
Yeah, I thought that
only
was
that they'd
pretty
have had the
good.
yeah, they would have had the rights to things then. Because oh man, can you imagine Henry Cavill standing in for Superman in that last episode of the third season,
Yeah.
just doing that dream scene. Just the whole Zack Snyder Justice League character crew. That would have been fun. Well, Studio 38, thanks for popping in here. Just as we're leaving, I'm going to remind everybody once again, Beowulf 1 through 4, all 4 issues are available on this Kickstarter. The link is below the video. Do click it, throw money at this thing, get it up over the $3,500 goal, because this is Kickstarter. You have to make it all to make this thing work. So definitely share this out with your friends, share the stream, tell them about this book, let them, vote with their wallets or make up their own minds, whatever you want to say about it.
Thanks, everybody.
It looks fun. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much for popping in tonight. We don't have a show without you. We're just podcast falling in the woods otherwise. And as always, while you were here, we just hope you had a blast. Good night, everybody.